right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Yoga. We're in the month of January 2023. We've been focusing on a yang practice, and a yang practice has less holding of poses and more movement, just to bring the body into a more active place. And we fire up the calorie burn just a little bit and promote that cardiovascular increase and metabolic burn in our body. But we can do this on several levels. So if you were with me on Tuesday, we did a fair amount of work for the hips and glutes. So if you have some muscle soreness, or even if you've done a different workout between the last 24 to 48 hours and you're working through some muscle soreness, we can do what we call an active recovery. So this is where we're still doing that movement in our practice, but it's at a more gentle level. If you haven't done a workout in the last 24 to 48 hours or weren't with me on Tuesday, I'm going to offer levels up to increase that intensity. So I'd like for you to take the ones that work best in your body. Each one of these flows will start with a warm-up flow. And if you want to stay with that one, fantastic, or we can move it on up depending on how your body's feeling today. So I have with me my blocks, my usual suspects of equipment, my yoga strap, and a blanket. And we're going to start down onto the mat in a seated position. A lot of what we do today in our active yang flow is going to involve the upper body moving through some side bending, through some twisting. So let's first find a really good alignment of our spine. You can also sit in a chair for this first piece and allow your pelvis to tip to neutral. So sometimes we let our pelvis slump back where we're hunching our body. So take those frontal hip bones and move them forward. Sometimes we have to get some of the flesh out of the way of our sitting bones so you feel really nice and grounded. Lengthen through the crown of your head and just focus on your breathing and bring that breath really deep into the belly. You can allow it to expand in your ribs a little bit, even into your upper lobes of the lungs. And feel the energizing practice of the breath as we start to allow it to lift our energy. And one more breath, a nice deep one in, all the way deep into the lungs and the belly. And release it out, nose or mouth. Our first active flow is going to involve just getting the spine to lengthen. So we'll take the right hand down to the floor outside of your right side, and we'll lift the left arm and take a nice side stretch over to the right. Keep your left hip grounded. Then come up part way, just enough to inhale. Then exhale and twist. And we're just bringing that left hand down toward the mat. And then inhale, open it back out. Exhale to return to neutral. We'll do that same side again. So we'll breathe in. Exhale, side stretch. Breathe in, halfway up. Exhale, rotate. Breathe in. And breathe out, back to neutral. One more time on this right side. Breathe in. Breathe out, side bend. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, twist, and pull your abdominals in. Breathe in to open. And breathe out to return to neutral. All right, on that left side, inhale, right arm reaches. Exhale, side bend. Really press that right sitting bone down. Breathe in halfway up. Breathe out and twist. You're looking down towards the left side of your mat. Breathe in to open. Breathe out to rise up. At your own pace. Side bend. Inhale. Twist. Inhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, return. One more time. We're really going to get any tension out of our spine, lengthening those muscles, waking up the core. And back to neutral. All right, if you enjoy sitting the way you are, you can continue this flow sitting, or we'll bring it into a Z-sit. So if you take this left leg, spin it around to the side, we'll be in a Z-sit position. And I like to put my blanket underneath my right hip, because this brings my pelvis in a little bit more of a neutral position. So off to that right side again, we'll bring the right fingertips down. We'll inhale, breathe up. Exhale into your side stretch. Notice you can go a little bit further now. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, twist and reach that left hand way underneath your armpit. Inhale, we open back out. And then as you exhale, you'll do a reverse side bend over to the left side. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, twist, reach underneath, look way behind your body. Inhale, open. Exhale, counter side bend over to the left. One more time this side, nice deep breath. Side stretch, lengthen the left side ribs. Inhale. Exhale, rotate. Find that really good range of motion through the mid-back. Inhale, open. And exhale, side stretch. All right, let's just come up to neutral before we switch sides. We'll take a gentle hip opener here, modified pigeon. We'll bring the hands in front and lower yourself down any amount over that front leg. So if you're pretty tight this morning, you might even use your blocks to place your hands on here. If you feel pretty confident, you can go deeper, come down to the elbows, or even stack your fists and set your forehead down and relax here. This is just a brief stretch as we're still kind of in our warm-up phase of our practice. So not getting really deep into the muscles. And then press yourself up. Take the leg that's out to the left side, bring it around to the front, and we're just going to twist over this left shoulder. So you can hug the knee in, you can bring the arm across, you can press the palms. The hand can be behind your body and just look over the left shoulder. Just about 3 breaths with a really long spine. And on that third exhalation, we'll come back to center and then repeat our sequence in the opposite Z-sit. So this left leg will be your front leg. I'm going to move my blanket to my left hip to prop that up a little bit. And it's not really super important that your hips are completely level, but the more they're level, the easier it will be for you to stretch the opposing direction. So we'll take the left hand down, take a nice inhale. Exhale into your side stretch. Feel that in your lat muscle beneath the armpit. Inhale halfway up, open. Exhale, twist and reach this right hand underneath the left armpit. Look behind your body. Inhale, open. Exhale and reverse your side bend. So there's 3 movements, 3 complete breaths. Inhale. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale. Exhale, rotate. Try not to force that twist. Allow it to be gentle. Breathe in, open. Breathe out and reverse. And one more time, inhale. Side stretch, really lengthen. Imagine someone's pulling your wrist halfway up and twist. I love this one. It feels great on my spine. Inhale, open, and exhale, side stretch. All right, let's take that gentle modified pigeon. So take your upper body, walk your fingertips forward. And this just depends on how open your left hip is in terms of how far you can come down. And just be gentle with it, not forcing, but bring it through a nice, gentle range of motion here. Option to stack your fists to rest your head so there's no tension in your neck and in your upper back. Also letting go of any tension in your lower back. One more breath. Let that exhale help to propel you back up. And bring this right leg that's off to the side around to the front. We'll just plant it here. Nice and tall through the spine. Hug that knee in towards your chest. Look over your right shoulder. If you're pretty twisty here, you can bring this arm all the way across or press the palms into that prayer twist. Super important that your spine is really elongated here. And one more breath, really looking over the right shoulder. And then coming back to neutral. So we'll take most of this series now and bring it up to the knees. But if you prefer to go back into your Z-sit, I want you to feel comfortable keeping this down at our warm-up level. So if you come to your knees, we'll come into a position called gate pose. So this will replace our Z-sit. So the right knee will be bent. The left leg will be extended out into gate. And bring that foot into a nice, comfortable position. The hips are on a little bit of an angle. We'll inhale. And as you exhale, take that side stretch way over to the right. I'm going to gently plant my fingertips here. Then we'll inhale just to lift the arm up. Exhale and rotate. Try to keep your pelvis neutral. Inhale back open. And exhale to pull yourself up into that counter side bend. So the flow of movements is exactly the same as we did in the Z-sit. We'll inhale, exhale, side stretch, really reach this left arm to feel that full stretch. Inhale the arm up only, exhale, twist and reach it under. So your twist isn't going to be as big as it was in the Z-sit. Inhale to open, exhale into that counter side bend. Really reach here. One more time for this flow. Breathe in. Breathe out to reach. Create length all the way along the left side body. Inhale the arm up. Exhale to rotate. We're working our core here as well as stretching. Inhale, open. And exhale, side bend. Now coming up to neutral, if you're still in your Z-sit, you'll do your modified pigeon again. If you're up here into gate, we'll bring the hands down in front and lower your body down as far as you can into a nice stretch. And you might slide this left foot out a little wider if that feels good. You can reach your arms way out in front of you into a downward dog position and even bring your forehead down to the mat if you have that flexibility. If you're a little tight here, you can be up on your blocks here on your hands and just get the stretch that really matches your body. We'll take 3 breaths. We're enjoying that stretch in the hamstring as well as the inner thigh on that left leg. walk those hands back in. If you're in Z-sit, you'll switch to the left side. If you're in gate pose, we'll do the same and switch. The right knee extends out, the leg straight. Left knee comes down onto the mat and come up. Play around with this position of your foot so that feels comfortable. It doesn't have to be turned in. It doesn't have to be straight out. It's kind of on a little bit of an angle. All right, let's get ready. Inhale. Exhale, enjoy that first side bend, explore it. Notice your core is working here. Inhale, just the arm up. Exhale and rotate. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull yourself up and side stretch the opposite direction. So a lot of nice work for the back muscles here. Breathe in. Stretch, breathe out. Inhale the arm up. Exhale, reach your hand underneath the armpit as far as you can go without moving your pelvis. Inhale, open. Exhale, reverse. I failed to mention, if you can't touch the floor with your left hand, you might put a block right here under this hand that's down on the floor so you can be supported. Bring that arm up, inhale. Exhale, reach under. Inhale, open. Exhale your counter side bend. And then come up to neutral. We'll explore our forward fold here. So hinging at the hips. Bring your arms down, using props if needed. Maybe slide this right leg out a little wider if that feels okay. And then come down into your nice full stretch here. I like this downward dog option with the arms. So even if your forehead doesn't touch the mat, you can reach those arms out a little bit further. Get a little bit of a stretch through your shoulders. And let's stay 2 more breaths. And then we'll walk those hands in. Bring both knees to the mat. We're on our hands and knees. Now again, you can do your Z-sit one more time. You can do the kneeling work one more time, or we're going to come up to a standing position. So whatever is the best way for you to come up on your feet, face me, and come all the way up to a stand. So if you're ready to really activate this series more, we're up on our feet. We'll take the legs nice and wide, and we'll turn the right foot into warrior 2. So if you'll notice, this looks a lot like gate pose. So if you're still down on your knees, your right knee is on the mat, your left leg is extended out into gate. If we're up into warrior 2, we do the same sequence we did before. Reach the arms out nice and long. Inhale, bring that left arm up. We can support here on the thigh. Exhale into that big side bend. Inhale to reach the arm up. Exhale and twist. And I'm going to try to feed my fingertips in this space here and look behind my body. Inhale to open. Then exhale into reverse warrior. So we come all the way up. And we'll do this sequence 2 more times. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale into your side stretch. Really reach. Inhale, the arm comes up. Exhale, reach through the window. Look behind your body. Inhale, open. Exhale, reverse warrior. Last time, you have 3 options with this flow. You're in Z-sit, you're in gate pose, or you're in warrior 2. Come back to neutral. Okay, if you're in Z-sit, you're going to do that modified pigeon one more time. If you're in gate pose, you're going to fold forward. If you are in warrior two, we are going to take humble warrior. So arms can come behind the back. You can place your hands at your hips, or you can hold your yoga strap behind you. And we are going to bow the upper body down. So our right shoulder comes down toward the inner thigh of that right leg. And we stretch and lengthen. Now the arms don't have to be behind the back, so if you need some support here, you can place your yoga block here underneath your hands and let that be your guide and a little bit of support as you stretch. And we'll take 2 more breaths here in our humble warrior. Then use the strength of the back body to pull yourself up. Oh, feels great. Release the clasp of the hands, and we'll pivot the feet if you're in warrior two. If you're in gate pose, you'll switch sides. If you're in Z-sit, you'll switch sides. Take your time to get there. Make sure this knee is tracking over the heel. We'll lengthen those arms out. Inhale. Exhale into your side stretch. Inhale, the arm lifts. Exhale, reach through the window, twisting, looking behind you. Inhale, open. Exhale, reverse warrior. And 2 more. Make the breath deep and slow. Find the edge for you for each one of these poses. Notice that wonderful combination of stretching and strengthening through your core, through the muscles of your spine. One more time. Breathe in. Side stretch, breathe out. This is extended side angle pose. Breathe in. Rotate, hollow out the innermost part of your belly. Really retract navel to spine. Inhale, open. Exhale, reverse warrior. Come back to neutral. Here's where we take our fold. So hands can come behind the back. We can bring our hands in front to a block and fold down into your humble warrior if you're on your feet. If you're in gate pose, you're walking your hands to the floor in front of you. If you're in Z-sit, you're taking that modified pigeon. And they are all great options. It just depends on if you are in active recovery mode today. All right, let's breathe in to come up. And release those hands. Roll the shoulders a couple of times. And then transition to your hands and knees. So I'm going to pivot around this way to make this the front of my mat. Bring my hands down and drop to the knees. We'll be here for a bit, so if you need any padding under your knees, you can take your blanket or you can make a little fold in your yoga mat, which is nice. So now we're going to move through a different set of flows, starting with our warm-up flow first, which is just simply cat and cow. So we've done that a lot of times, but I really want you to focus on the muscles of your core working as you pull your abs in, tuck your tailbone, look towards your belly, create space in your spine, and exhale completely. And then drop the belly down, lift the tailbone up, let the heart glide forward. And we'll do 2 more, cow and cat. Nice and gentle through the spine. One more time. And then bring your spine to neutral. Press yourself back into extended child's pose. So depending on the mobility of your knees, your hips might go all the way down to your heels. You might be up a little bit higher. Really reach your fingertips out. Now you can stay with cat and cow, or we'll move from child's pose to a kneeling up dog. So draw your hips forward and let them sink down any amount and gaze your heart forward. So there's a little bit of a back bend here. Then press yourself back to child's pose, or maybe you're still doing cat stretch, and glide forward to kneeling up dog or to cow. And let's do one more time. Child's pose or cat stretch, and kneeling up dog or cow. Come back to your child's pose. So that's two options for you to stick with. Or our final option, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, and come into a down dog. Now, if your body's not up to down dog today, that's okay. You still got cat stretch or child's pose. So from your down dog, we'll glide forward either to a plank or an up dog with your toes tucked under. And then push back to your down dog, child's pose or cat stretch. And come forward to cow or kneeling up dog or up dog on your feet. And we'll do one more. Push back and glide forward. And then press back either down dog, child's pose, or cat stretch, and just hold 3 breaths. If you're in down dog, you can pedal out your feet a little bit to keep the practice active and to increase the stretch down the backs of the legs. And then if you're up in down dog, drop your knees down to the mat. Back to an even all fours position. So check to make sure the wrists are right underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips. If you need a break for your wrist and you just did down dog, you can come up here for a second and just roll those wrists out. So really listen to your body here today. Okay, the next flow again has levels associated with it. We're going to take our right leg straight back behind us. Lengthen that leg, keep your hips level, slightly lift the leg, look forward, and then pull your knee into your chest and round your back. Hollow out your belly, working your abdominals. And again, lengthen back and pull it in. One more on this right side. Now lengthen that right leg back. Your next option is to take the left arm forward with the thumb up. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to draw elbow to knee. 2 more at this intermediate level. One more. Reach out and hold. If you want to stay with intermediate, stay there for me for a moment. If you'd like to move it up to advanced, come into down dog and lift your right leg up into 3-legged dog. We'll inhale together. Exhale to pull that right knee forward. So you have 3 options. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, pull it in, round your back. One more. Reach it up and hold. You're either on your hands and knees, you're in bird dog, or you're in three-legged dog. Then lower that leg down. Everyone drop the knees to the mat. Pause and take a child's pose. Relaxing your wrists. You can take a couple circles around or stretch your wrists. And just check in. Notice how the level that you took worked for your body. And then we'll repeat all 3 levels on the left side. So we'll start to come up. Hands and knees we begin. Level 1, just the left leg goes back. As we inhale, glide the heart forward, a baby back bend. Exhale, pull the knee right into the chest and look toward your belly. 2 more, breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, contract. And 1 more. Nice range of motion for the spine, a good core connection. Level 2, the left leg is back, the right arm is forward. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Create space in your spine. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, pull in. 1 more, working on our bird dog. This is one of our highlighted exercises for this month for longevity. Extend out and hold. If you're staying with level 2, stay there for a moment. As I get you ready in level 3, we come up to down dog. Our left leg lifts into three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, come to plank and pull that knee forward in toward the chest. 2 more. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, curve the spine. 1 more. It should feel like you're doing a little abdominal crunch as you pull in. And reach that leg up and hold. You could be in bird dog. You could be on both hands and 1 knee. And then lower the leg back into position. We'll all drop our knees down to the mat and take a child's pose recovery. And this time bring your arms next to the sides of your body so you can relax your shoulders. Relaxing your wrists as well. And just check in again. Notice how your body's feeling. If you're keeping this a gentle practice in your active recovery, is that feeling okay for you today? And then we'll come back to our hands and knees. Our next flow starts with thread the needle. So it involves another twist and some good core connection. So we come to the hands and knees. On an inhale, the right arm reaches. And I want to see if you can almost stack the right shoulder over the left. As you exhale, thread that arm through, relaxing your shoulder down toward the mat, even tapping the right side of your head. And inhale, press up. You're using the strength of that left arm. And it's guiding you down and up from your position. And 1 more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach through, and we'll hold this stretch just for a few breaths. Left arm can wrap behind your back and try to reach your fingertips into your hip crease. It's a great little release for your shoulder. You can just put your hand on your sacrum or even reach your arm long toward the top of your mat for more of a lat stretch. And then we'll prepare to come back out. So that left hand will press from underneath the shoulder. You'll inhale to reach the arm up. And then set the hand down. We'll repeat the warm up to the other side. The left arm reaches. Now this might be a completely different range of motion here, so just see how far you can twist on this side. Exhale, reach through. And 2 more. The right arm is working to press your body up and to slowly guide your body down. And 1 more, stretch up. And reach through. We'll hold here for a brief stretch. And try to check and make sure that your pelvis right here is level across. So we don't want to be leaning over onto one knee more than the other. We're equally distributed in our body weight on both knees. 1 more breath. Gentle stretch and a nice shoulder release. And then place that right arm right underneath the shoulder. Give it a push upward. Inhale to open. And exhale to lower. So you can stay with thread the needle again using that right arm, or we can step this left knee forward into a kneeling lunge. So if you'd like to take it up to our intermediate flow, let's bring that left knee forward, get into a really nice hip opener stretch here. And you might need to have a block off to one side of your body if you need a little bit of support for your left hand. So we're going to be twisting again to the right first. So we'll inhale to open this, really reach up, and exhale and twist the other direction. Now what to do with this hand? It can come down or it can come all the way across, and you can wrap your left arm behind your back and your right arm across the knee. And we'll do this 2 more times. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring it down or add your twist. And 1 more time, reach up. And twist, and we'll hold this twist. You can bring the palms of your hands together and bring this elbow across, twisting prayer lunge. And hold here. If you're in thread the needle, you're just finding that comfortable stretch there. If you're up here in this kneeling lunge, you're working your core a little bit more and your balance. Now we'll get ready to open up to the right side to finish. So inhale, reach. And exhale, lower down. If you're in the kneeling position, let's switch legs. So bring that left knee back to the mat. The right foot takes a big step forward. Or if you're doing your thread the needle, you're just switching sides. I'm going to bring my block here off to the right hand. The left side twists open. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, either bring that hand just straight down, or you can bring it across and twist. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more, stretch it up. And bring it down. Hold. Maybe come into your twisting prayer. Really lengthen your spine. And if you're in that thread the needle, just really breathe deeply into those ribs. Now let's get ready to twist open to the left side. So the right hand comes down, left arm opens, inhale, and set it down. Okay, our front knee needs to come back towards the back. So we have thread the needle 1 more time on each side. We can do the kneeling lunge 1 more time on each side, or we can bring it up to a standing lunge to really maximize this. So our left leg comes forward. You might need to have your block handy. That's going to be over to the left side of your left foot. And then we tuck this back toe under and rise all the way up to stand. So just test this out. Make sure this is going to feel okay for you today. So it's involved a lot more work in your lower body and in your legs. So supporting yourself with a block, if you need to, we're twisting open to the right. Now really watch your balance on this if you're standing up, because you want to topple over backwards, right? And then as you exhale, this hand can just come down, or it can come across and twist to the left. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale to open, go slow. Exhale to twist. 1 more. If you're up on your feet and you feel like, oh man, I bit off more than I can chew, just drop your back knee down. And we'll hold this twist 3 breaths. What a difference between level 1, level 2, and level 3. Let's open to the left, inhale, to the right. Exhale, come down. And I need a little child's pose break for my left quad. What do you think? Let's take it for a moment here. Ooh. I feel my heart rate really picked up on that too. Okay, we have 1 more side to do. Either your thread the needle, your kneeling lunge, or your standing lunge. We'll take our right foot forward. If you're in kneeling lunge, you'll stay here. If you're in standing lunge, bring your block over to your right side. If you're using it, tuck the back toes under. Lift yourself up. Now it's easier to balance when you get on your feet if you have some room between your feet side to side. So we don't want to stand like you're on a balance beam. You want to separate your feet about hips distance apart. And then we'll bring the right hand down to support. Open to the left, inhale. Exhale, twisting over to the right side. Good, 2 more. Reach it up. And exhale, twist. Really stable through your legs, through your abs. 1 more time. Twist and hold. Maybe you need the block here underneath your left hand as well. That's okay. 3 breaths. Back leg as straight as you can get it. And prepare to open up to the left 1 more time. Reach up. And reach down. And find yourself in a child's pose. Dropping the knees down to the mat. And rest. So in our yang practice, we save the last few minutes to get into a yin pose. I believe we did our pigeon one time. So the yin pose we're going to do today is a wide leg stretch. If you need to support your hips, it's nice to take them up onto a blanket or a block. And then we're going to face the wide edge of our mat and bring our feet out to a comfortable stretch here. So a couple of things. If you're really tight in your hamstrings and you look like this when you sit, then we need to bend our knees a little bit. And you can take a couple of towels if you like and put them underneath your knees so that they're bent. You can bring your legs closer together and then sit up nice and tall. So before we do a deep stretch, I'm going to take that first flowing vinyasa and put it into this position on each side. So you'll remember it from our very first flow of the class. So let's bring our right hand down to the mat. We'll inhale, exhale, and side stretch. So I'm keeping my frontal part of my body forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, twist. So this left hand's gonna reach across to the right foot. Inhale, open back out. Exhale, come up. Now we'll go right to the left side. Inhale, reach. Exhale, side bend. Right sitting bone stays down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, twist. So my torso faces the left leg. Inhale, open. Exhale, come up. Switching sides. Breathe in. Side bend, breathe out. Breathe in and rotate. Breathe in and rise up. Left side. One more on each side for 3 flows. I'm really feeling a nice release in my lower back with this one. Last time to the left side. Inhale, side bend first. Inhale, twist second. Inhale, and exhale. And just pause for a moment. Notice how your positioning of your body is feeling now. I feel like I'm able to sit up a little taller. I feel like my thighs aren't as tight here, and my inner thighs and hamstrings are more released. So what I want to do is fold your body forward any amount and hold for 3 minutes. So that seems like a long time. Let me get my little timer started. Our yin poses are at least 2 to 2.5 minutes long. So we're just going to try to extend this to the 3-minute mark. So you might need a block. You can support your hands. You can support your elbows. You can support your elbows and your forehead. Or if you're really stretchy, you can bring your forehead right down to your block. So take about a couple more breaths to get into that position. And I'm beginning our clock now. So there are a few guidelines for a yin pose. And one of the guidelines is to make it comfortable. You might say, well, gosh, this is not comfortable at all. But get into a place where you feel like you can stay there for that 3 minutes. And if that means you're just sitting straight up, then that's your yin pose, and that's okay. So once we find a place that we can be comfortable, we push our edge, and then the third principle is to remain still if possible. And sometimes that's really hard. Our body wants to fidget around, but try to stay still. That being said, if you're starting to feel some pain, then please come out of the pose or make adjustments. So after 1 minute's time, you might say, oh, wow, I feel like I could go a little deeper now. I feel that those muscles have relaxed and released some. So we're coming up right at the halfway mark of our pose. So just notice, can you go a little deeper? Or do you need to back off on it a little bit? Or can you remain for 90 seconds? Another principle is to stay fully mindful and present in the pose. So try not to let your mind wander. Stay intent upon your breath and upon what's going on and what you're feeling in your body. Try to slow the breath down. Try to relax any tension in your face, in your neck, in your shoulders. And we have 30 seconds remaining in our pose. Maybe you can deepen one more time. And 2 more deep breaths. And very slowly, prepare to move out of the pose, pressing yourself back up. And then we'll bend the knees so that the soles of the feet are touching into butterfly. Ooh, my knees need a little bit of help bending them. Oh, I feel that stretch. So bring the soles of the feet together. And your heels can be any distance away from your pelvis. So kind of experiment with that a little bit. And then once you have a comfortable place, we'll stretch forward. We're just here briefly on this one, relaxing the inner thighs, the lower back, the hips and glutes. Just 2 more breaths. And then bring yourself up and we'll come into a seated tree pose. So the right knee stays bent, the left leg extends straight out. So if you were standing up on your left foot, you would be in tree. So the right inner thigh, or right foot and the left inner thigh are connected. And we'll stretch this forward with the option of using your yoga strap. Just place that under the bottom of your foot, lengthen your spine, and have a stretch forward any amount. And we're not staying here as long as the yin, just about 30 to 45 seconds. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, you want to make it a yin pose, you can definitely hit the pause button and stay here as long as you'd like. One more breath. Release the optional strap, bring yourself on up. And we'll switch our tree pose so that the right leg straightens, the left knee bends. It's also nice to use a block here to support if you feel like your leg hanging in the air is straining your hip flexor. And let's find our edge here on this right hamstring stretch. We try to keep our spine as neutral as possible, so not really rounding or hunching, just so that we can bring our nose down toward our knee. So we want to lead with the belly down first and keep the shoulder blades back. And 2 more breaths. Or pausing the video, holding any length of time. And then we'll release the strap, come on up. Now both legs will straighten for Dandasana. Our last hamstring stretch of our practice today. Using the strap, if you'd like, under the bottom of both feet. And inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold. Just about a 30-second hold. Two more breaths. And then release your strap. Rise up away from the pose. Come to a comfortable seat, easy pose or simple cross-leg pose. And sometimes once we get here, we realize that we always do this the same way. So if you're like me and you always have the same ankle in front, I want you to switch that. And that always feels so strange. We'll sit up nice and tall. We'll inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, open them back out. Two more breaths. Last inhale, the palms come together. We'll exhale the thumbs to the forehead and pause there for positive thoughts for our day and the remainder of our week. Breathe in and reach your hands back up. Breathe out and bring your thumbs to linger upon your lips for positive words for those around us, our loved ones, and for ourselves. Inhale, the arms come back up. Exhale, the thumbs come all the way down into the heart, into our Anjali Mudra, where we draw our thoughts inward to positive actions, to good deeds.